Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us again over here at Merchant Service Layers. I am talking to you now from Go Free Pay headquarters over here in Prosper, Texas. Real quick, what I wanted to cover today is a little bit different than our normal. Normally, we talk a lot about agent stuff, closing stuff, that sort of deal. But before I get into what we're going to talk about today, if you could do us a favor, you're probably watching this on YouTube or in our group Merchant Service Layers, or you could be watching it on Card Builder, wherever you're at. Please head over to YouTube. Please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page. That way we go ahead and get our information boosting up and getting in front of other people that may be interested in learning a little bit more about our industry, merchant services, right? So today, what we are talking about is coaching new sales agents, okay? There's gonna be 3 topics that we're covering with this, all right? The first one's gonna be coaching on lead generation for outside sales agents, okay? The next topic that we're going to cover is coaching on the sales process, and last but not least, reinforcing information until production is taking place and hitting quota, right? So first off, coaching on lead generation. So this is big. After your agents go through whatever type of training process you have, what we do over at Go Free Pay, which is our ISO, is we have a pre-recorded training that we have our agents watch, and then they have to take a couple of quizzes in order to ensure that they passed it. After that's done, what we'll do is roughly about, we call it a hot session. It's about 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes of one-on-one intensive training, just to kind of reinforce that information that was on the original training videos, which is typically about, I would say, 6 hours long in, just for their starting point, right? So once all that's done, it's time to get your agents out there in the field, right? So what we normally do is we coach very heavily on lead generation. Yes, we give our agents leads. Yes, we can provide them any type of lead that we want at any time. We have a large call center, but we want these people to be self-sufficient, okay? All of us have been out in the field, most likely. All of us have bought leads from other people, most likely. All of us have probably had what we would consider ourselves, and it's a relative term, good or bad appointments. So to prevent an agent from falling into that, woe is me, I got a bad appointment, what we do is we go ahead and teach them how to create their own leads, to generate their own leads. The way we do that seems very micromanagey, but it's very successful. What we do is we have our agents get out there after we've, practiced the script with them. We push it into their head, right? We've done our one-on-one session like we talked about earlier. We get them out there in the field, and they are literally calling us every single door they're knocking into. Normally, it takes about 5 to 6 doors until the pitch is down perfect. That's it. And what they'll do is they'll walk in. Once they walk into the prospect, right? They'll go through the spiel, they'll give us a call, like for example, they'll give me a call, they'll say, Craig, hey, this is how it went. And normally the very first one is some off the cusp bullshit that we did not train them on whatsoever. It's like 99% of the time what people do is they make up their own thing because they get nervous, they get jittery. I 100% get it. We've all been there. So we push them into saying the right words, right? The scripting is very important. So we have them say the right words, they go back in, they call us again, they tell us exactly what happened. We start teaching them very heavily, before, but especially during, they're starting to see that, oh shit, these guys know what they're talking about. They're seeing these through the door objections. I'm hammering them with the exact same through the door objections they just got hit with. Once they leave, if they booked it or didn't book it, just to go ahead and reinforce. We continuously do that for roughly about 5 to 6 doors on average. Some people takes more, some people takes less. But when you do that, they're going to book a couple of appointments, guaranteed. You're on the phone. First off, you're making sure they're putting the action. And second off, you're making sure that they're saying the right thing. So you're covering the 2 things that are really hard for sales agents. And you're almost putting them into a situation to where, okay, I'm going to get a little uncomfortable. I'm going to have to say some things that I normally would not say. And I'm going to have to push to go ahead and get these leads booked, right? That right there has proven very successful with all of our sales agents, all right? Now, the next thing is coaching on the sales process. Obviously, they saw it in our original training, but we need to go in there and help them close these deals, okay? Our goal over at Go Free is every single agent that touches down into and through our training, we must get them 2 deals, no matter what. They have to get 2 sales. Otherwise, we as management failed at our job, okay? So how do we do that? The way that we do that is we've enforced before they go out there on the day of these preset appointments that they book for themselves, because we're not giving any of our sales agents any appointments until they go out there and they see what it's like to book an appointment themselves. So they go out there, they do the deed, they've booked 2 or 3 appointments for themselves. Day comes, it's time to go ahead and go out there and sell a deal, right? At this point in time, we are reinforcing again the sales process that they've already watched through our video training, that they already went through with our one-on-one, and now we're going to hit it again the day of going out there into the field. Now, again, it's funny how this always happens. Their pitch normally is way off course, right? And that's fine, that's normal. So what we do is we go ahead and we reinforce it. I'd say we probably spend at least 45 minutes going over it the day of. And at that point, they're getting out there in the field. And if at any point in time during that sit, when they're going through our steps of the sale, right? We have a very defined steps of the sale. You guys should as well. We'll do another video on that here in a little while. But as they're going through it, if there's any point they're hitting a hiccup, what are they doing? They're reaching out to us. We're coming in there. We're taking kind of control of the sale at that point. What we normally advise our salespeople to do in those situations is to say, hey, look at Craig. I'm over here at Bob's Tire. I'm speaking with Bob right now. Has a really good business over here. Hey, real quick, we had a couple of questions. I was wondering if it'd be okay if I put you on speaker. Okay, so we have them kind of prep us that they're in front of a merchant, that they should toss us onto speakerphone, right? That way they can hear the back and forth, and it prepares us that we're about to go into a selling situation, right? Last but not least, you've probably heard this throughout the entire video, that we are consistently reinforcing all this information until they start to produce consistently, right? So we're going to constantly be slamming this information home inside of our salespeople until it becomes very like the back of their hand, so to say, right? We do this, and it's a simple thing. It's that we tell people to go out there and knock doors on a day-to-day basis and to stay consistent, right? You know, we wouldn't ever tell anybody to do something that we wouldn't do, so we have to stay consistent in how we're training our agents. Otherwise, what's going to happen is they're going to slip into a sophomore slump type thing, and at that point, it's game over for roughly about a week or two of production when that happens, because you have to look at it from the start of lead generation to the signing of a deal, and that can take anywhere from a couple of days all the way to a couple of weeks for that very first contact to finally close. And so if we let them kind of slip away off of the training, and they start getting into bad habits, and they start having all these other things happen that they shouldn't be doing, then at that point we failed them. Now we have to re-reel them in, and now it's going to take another, up to 2 weeks to get them back on track. So to avoid that entire mess, what we consistently do with our sales agents is we reinforce information into them, whether that be on our morning conference calls, whether that be on one-on-one training with our sales support staff or our sales managers, whether that be, even some of these YouTube videos that we're doing. The information is always there to help make sure that our agents are being able to keep consistent out there in the field, and that they're getting this information slammed into them on a day-to-day basis until it's completely in their mind, right? That's all we got for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining us again. And by the way, please do like, share, and subscribe. That's all I got, man. You guys get out there, enjoy your day, have a successful sales day, and ABC, always be closing. Have a good one.